What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Man, I hope y'all feeling good out there today. It is a good day, another day that we are able to get on and see each other's face and talk. So, guys, I hope you guys are feeling good today. What's up,
Yeah,
fellas? How y'all doing tonight? Cam,
I'm
shout out
good.
to Captain fellas.
I'm good. I'm good.
Doing wonderful, doing wonderful. How are you guys?
Doing good, man. Doing good. It's another day, man. We so many topics floating around, man, and so many things happening right now in the world. We see so many different things that are happening that are causing changes to happen left and right. And so, even with that, we often get an opportunity to see some of the things that happen as far as what could be called negative things, or they could be called things that actually push us to another level when it
Mhm.
comes to how we think, how we act, whatever it may be. So today, I kind of wanted to just bring on cue a topic, a statement, man. This is something that I think is a good question. We know that we all try our best to be who we our best person, the best person we could be, the best version of who we are in life. We try our best to portray and to actually walk out of the things in our life that we truly, truly, truly believe. And
Mhm.
so sometimes we are caught in moments. Now, this could be relationships or it can be situations that could possibly happen. And the question that's asked tonight is the big question: do the things that you say or do? I know I didn't put "do" in the caption, but I want to just add that in there. The things that you say or do in the moment of heat define who you really are. Is that really who a person is? And we
Mhm.
know that we can talk about situations as far as relationships, or we talk about situations, just situation as far as in the community, things that happen to us individually. So that's the question that we asked tonight because it's very. I think this is a good moment, truth, and I'll be the first to tell you guys. Listen, it's crazy because even tonight I had a situation tonight where I was really tried tonight, and I actually had a moment of I got hot tonight. I really did, man. It's been a long time since I really got hot with somebody, and actually had some form of pushback. So um, tonight it kind of really pushed me to think after the situation had occurred. Like wow, what I'm saying? I didn't even realize that I had the ability to go from 0 to 100 that quick. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, I believe the enemy knew that he knew exactly which buttons that was needed to be pushed in order to bring out what he needed to bring out. So my question is, does that really define us? Does it define us? Because you have to remember, whatever you do in the moment is recorded. I'm not talking about on phone, cell phone in this generation of the cell phone, but I mean it's recorded in the memory of the people who interact, the memory of the people who are standing by. And sometimes that could be the only interaction they've ever had with you and or even seen from you. Uh, so what about this? What about this that really changes? What about this that kind of just like lays out a foundation of a question that really does bring to light uh what's really lurking beneath? What is it really at all?
Well,
Fellas,
well,
talk to me.
what could be lurking? Like you can be exhausted for days. It can be overwork situation. It could be something on the edge of the back of your head that you kind of assume can happen. It could be level of energy, like I said. Just it could be a whole lot. That don't mean that you the person every day walk around ready to fight somebody or snap off on somebody. Sometimes it could be far as energy not eating all day. you know, you're on the edge. It could be a lot of reasons. And then it could be that's who you are. It could go both ways, for some people.
Right, right, right. What about you, Rashad? What do you think, bro?
Well,
Uh-oh.
Coming from somebody who was known to blow up and be a real ballistic person at all times. Everything, a lot of things just set me off. And one of the big keys was that a lot of things I would eat up and hold inside of me, and then I would run into a situation like you ran in today, and that one little thing, and I would just blow up. And it may not be that much, but I done held so much in over a period of time. And a lot of times I think my biggest issue was I would lack of communication. So when somebody would do something to me that would make me angry or upset, I wouldn't say nothing. I just hold it inside. And then I let it boil up, and then by the time somebody roll up on me, I'm already at 99. And they do the littlest thing, and I would just go off. And then once I go off, it was on and popping then. You know.
Right.
So I think one of the biggest things that you can do to not get at that point is to communicate. It's the communication, but you gotta talk. You gotta talk. But then we also know that sometimes when you do try to communicate with the parties involved, they'll say things to provoke you even more. You know, and I think, since I gave my life to the Lord, He's really worked on me on my anger a whole lot, and just being able to deal with communicating better with people and finding better solutions, and also listening more, because you don't know what the other person going through that day also. You roll up on somebody and you may think they just being a jerk or being disrespectful, but you don't know what they done went through, So life affects all of us. So a lot of time I think we just got to communicate.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said it's something that you said, man. That really just brought something to my attention. I've found myself, like, a lot of people think, and I think what happens a lot of times, people misread you. Like, a lot of people think that I am just like this happy-go-lucky guy that nothing ever bothers me. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing ever bothers me. So what happens is, a lot of times people don't realize that what really happens, and I don't know if this is for somebody else, but I found myself washing over a moment and then later beating myself up about why I did not say certain things or react certain ways.
Right.
I have to humble myself in a way, and then I end up literally, like, it's almost like I fight myself later because I didn't allow self to do what self wanted to do. Anybody else ever felt that in any way? Is that just me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go back and you start thinking to yourself, like, man, I can't believe you allowed that to happen. I can't believe you allowed that to slide. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you beat yourself up about it and feel miserable because you did not do certain things. And so sometimes that happens with me. Have you guys ever had situations similar?
Something, the hardest people who I have trouble talking with and really expressing myself how I want to, and saying what I want to say, is the people I love. Too many emotions get in it. So if I love you and I care about you, my emotions get in the way of my words. You know what I'm saying? So I know what I want to say. I know what I plan to say, but boy, it don't come out like that sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And but it's only the people. It's somebody I love. You know what I'm saying? It's somebody I care about. That happens to me. And I'm usually a great speaker. You can see on this program, I don't have no problem, expressing what I want to say and getting my words out in a format like this. But if I'm trying to have a direct conversation with somebody I love, or my children, sometimes, boy, my emotions really get in the way. Now, people on the streets, you know, sometimes I would go there because, you know, I just done got, you know, 38 hot and go there. But I think the ones I have the regrets about is the conversation with people who I care about. And I say something that I really regret. But you know, let me say this, bro. It's because the people you care about, the things they do and the things they say really offend you, really hurt you.
Right. Right.
The people
right.
you don't really know, they may say something, but that kind of you brush it off and you keep going. You may get hot in the moment, but
Right.
the people who you love and the people who you care about, bro, and family and stuff like that, dog. Well, they say things to you and it cut to the bone.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's usually the people you help. It's the people you do the most for. You know what I'm saying? And then they say something, the craziest things to you. And then you, boy, I just really have a hard time expressing myself then.
I got Shaft jumped in and he said it might define you to someone else that witnesses the situation, but no, I don't believe it defines us. Sometimes that old
Right.
man rises up, and sometimes that king rises up, depending on the situation. And so that's the real thing. Like even when I think about like Paul, how Paul talked about how the things that he would do, he don't do. You know what I'm saying? Like he talked about that double identity where it's like, okay, I know that this thing that's lying present, sin is still in my flesh. You know what I'm saying? Even
Mhm.
though I may be following Christ, that look, sometimes I have to hold myself, restrain myself from of the other part of me, which is the flesh, that how it wants to react and what it wants to do. And so that's something that, you know what I'm saying, you kind of have to be mindful of at all times. And like, I think sometimes for me, I'm a little bit too mindful, like almost as if though, and I say that, and I don't say that to the effect of, I should let loose more. But what I'm saying is that sometimes what happens, man, we can get to the point to where we really do suffer more because there are some times that we could say some things, you know what I'm saying, and we don't say it. And so,
Mhm.
like for me, I think I worked really hard on not hurting people, whether that was with my hands or with my words. I worked so hard on it when I came to Christ that it actually um made me somewhat hyper sensitive to what I say. You know what I'm saying? And do. And so what happened was, it's like even the conversations, like I would avoid conversation. Like if I had an issue, I would avoid that issue because I felt like if my concern was not addressed or received or understood, then my reaction was going to be bad. You know what I'm saying? Because like I always felt like if I came to you with something, I came to you with something because I'm gonna come respectable, but it's also gonna be something that when I come, it's not gonna be unreasonable. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be something reasonable that I'm talking about, and that's common sense. And if it's not respected, I used to be more afraid of what my reaction would be next because because this conversation I tried to have wasn't received. So that kind of puts you in a place sometimes, and then sometimes you just when people see a different side of you, and sometimes it don't have to be the worst, but when they see anything different from you, they tend to coin who you are basically off of what they just saw versus
Right.
who
Right.
they've known the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like for instance, let me give you a perfect example, and I'm gonna turn it over so you guys can talk for a minute. But perfect example, most people when they talk about Jesus, they bring up one thing about Jesus. What is it? To plead their case, what does the average person bring up about Jesus? I'm not
Jesus.
talking about a believer. I'm not talking about like a believer, but even like a person who
Yeah,
has
he's not,
he went what?
that he's not Christ.
No.
Oh,
What you said, bro?
Then when he turned the other cheek, are you talking about in
What?
anger?
And anger. Yeah.
oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
When he,
Check.
Always
when he made the whip and whipped the
when
people
you
in the
whip
temple.
people, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
People love to bring up, well, even Jesus whipped, got
In the
angry.
temple, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People throw that around quick as a defense of them showing off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Letting their flesh go. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But the truth of the matter is, man, you know, I think sometimes we can just have so many things going on in the background that allows it builds up to that point to where you do things that you do, and then it makes everybody think that you're a certain way.
Right,
So
right.
that's why I'm really careful about who I interact with. You know what I'm saying? Like I try
Mhm.
not to
Yeah.
even like have people in my circle that are ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
people that do, you know, just ignorant people that do slimy stuff. You know, I try not to have them in my circle, and the reason why is because if I have to straighten them, my energy would have to match their energy to some extent. You know what I'm saying? So I try not to have them in my circle. That way, it does not pull me into that whole scene when something goes bad. You know what I mean? Go ahead, bro.
All right. Now, coming to Christ and being somebody who was prone to violence, uh,
It's stuck for a second.
growing up in a pretty rough neighborhood, so I know how to really learn how to defend myself, and I was gonna try to get off first. And now I came to Christ, and He touched my heart, and I remember when I started interacting with people, man, and I didn't act the way I used to act. I think they just thought I was soft or something. They started really trying to take
Mhm.
advantage of me, saying
Right,
stuff to me that they would never say before,
right,
you know? And I'm like, God, what is this here? And man, I remember hearing a message, and the pastor said that God gave you anger for a reason, to know when enough is enough. So that's an emotion that God gave us for a purpose. But wrath is going way too strong. And I used to go to wrath,
right,
you know. I used
right,
to want to hurt somebody.
right.
Um, and it was a difficult line for me to walk um, when I first came to Christ, because I felt that other people were trying me, you know, saying disrespectful stuff and stuff they would never say when they knew I was out there in the streets and running with the devil. They would never try me like that, bro. I mean, they was very careful, very choice about their words that they said to me. But then once I got saved, I was like, I had to go loud sometimes. I don't believe this cat just said that to me,
Right.
you know. And not to have that same reactions that I used to have, and you know, it was a big transition. It took a while. I ain't gonna lie, it took a while to really train. And I still mess up. I'm human, you know.
Right.
Push
Oh
my,
yeah.
but then you know,
Mhm.
going there, it's the people who love you know how to push your buttons.
Oh yeah.
You know, the
Okay.
people that yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, okay. So saying that, let's spin that off for a second. So, how about in those relationships? And when people get heated, they have a. Is that my system doing that? I don't know.
No,
Do you hear something?
that's
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
that's fine.
I got you. I got you.
Right.
So in relationships, man, we all know that people can be very sweet, but given the right circumstance, a heated moment, some of the worst things are said in relationships. So,
Yeah, exactly.
are
Exactly.
those
Things you
those
can't get back. Things you can't get back, bro.
get back? So those things like that are those statements. Do you really feel like some of those mean statements? Do you really feel like those are real thoughts that are
Yeah,
really real and not in the jab at, like in the moment? Is that really a defining moment for the person that they might be, that a person might be with? You know what I'm saying? What do you
It could
think?
be, it could be true and not true. It could be where that person just know that they could just catch it.
See, I believe it depends on how long you've been together.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
First couple years,
That's a
you
good
don't
point,
know, you don't really know the people like that. Get
Yeah,
into
that's a good
12,
point.
15 years with somebody. And
Right.
you know everything about them.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And then you know, well, they know how to cut you deep.
Oh yeah.
You know how to bring it to. So you know the things to say that's gonna hurt them because you don't hurt each other before.
Right.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
I had a
So-
couple things I was gonna tell y'all, but y'all gotta hear this right here. Y'all remember this?
Man, hey, real talk. That's real talk.
Boy.
Man, that's real talk though, man.
Yeah.
And I see my wife that jumped on toes with all these laughing faces, like you headed down the wrong road, buddy. Oh, for real. But seriously, hey, but for real though, bro, like seriously, like you start thinking about it, like some of the stuff that's said in the middle of those heated topics.
Yeah.
I heard Rashad say some stuff you just can't get back. Like you can't get it.
That's true.
Say it. And so the question is, man, do you really be feeling like that when you say certain things? Like
you know the funny part to me? The funny part is that why in the heated arguments your family members come up?
True. That is so true. That is so true. But like somebody who ain't got nothing to do with this whole.
That's what I'm telling you. Because it be what happens is they be trying every single thing just to catch you, just to tick you off. That if you be silent, don't say nothing, they'll just keep saying stuff, just to get to you. That's all.
I'm telling you things that used to really bother me because I know I'm a real tough dude. You know what I'm saying? And I'll fight anybody. I ain't scared of nobody. But this woman would say some of the most helpful things to me that I know men wouldn't say to me. And bro, I'm talking about, I would have to shake my head sometimes. You know, and I'm like, wow, I know she ain't just say that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you couldn't get no dude, you know, to tell me that, but you just said it to me. You know, you have to eat it. You have to eat it sometime. You have to eat it.
How many? How? Okay, all right. And since you say that, all right, here we go. So since you say that, you say you have to eat it sometimes. Give me 101 best thing to do that has worked for you when you heard something said to you that was really rough, and you had to put it out before it
leave.
I was just saying, but then you get a million text messages, and the text messages they worse than what they really get gangster when they go to texting. Boy, you talking about they really come out the woodwork with some stuff then.
Oh my! Oh my! Oh man!
Oh boy!
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yeah,
so what you do is when you see it pop up, don't even look at it. Just delete it. That's it.
Oh Lord!
Just delete it.
You better start playing that song again because
just delete it. Yeah, then it won't be within your spirit for you to want to lash back.
You know, things are different. Like like I said, when I was living in the world, I had a lot of faults. I wore them on my sleeve. I didn't hide nothing from nobody.
Look at it.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's what the enemy wants you to do. The enemy wants you to lash back.
It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard to throw shots at me because I was just being me. Mm-hmm. And, I wasn't trying to serve the Lord or do right. I reveled in doing wrong, you know. So it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard to come up with some shots to throw at me, but the average person would tell me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen.
Hey.
Hey, so
I'm playing.
Just put a thing up. She said that's how Thomas does me. He just deletes them. You know, look, man, I don't want to talk about my wife, man. My wife would send me text messages. Those text messages be so long, man. I'd be like, man,
it's a book.
Whole book. It's a whole book. I can't read this.
And then they want to use psychology in the text message. And then you know the crazy thing? My cousin had to peep this out to me one time. But then I tried to do it back. I tried to do it back. She said it won't work on her.
Oh wow.
Because y'all different.
Oh wow.
See what they do to you to hurt you, you can't do it. You doing it back to them don't hurt them.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Y'all different. You know what I'm saying? Them long text messages, it made me mad. I was like, what the heck? What the?
It's just So okay. So here's the question, and I'm hoping I get some of the people in the audience also to chime in and put the comments. I see the statements. Mason, I see you. Man. Hold on a second. I want to just go back. Hold on one second. Let me read that. Brother said that he need to work on this. I'm bad in this area of life. Sometimes I just say things to get under somebody's skin. Hey, I believe everybody has been at that point somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Everybody.
But it's easier to do it to the people that you love. This is the point I'm trying to make. We constantly hurt each other.
Right.
Constantly.
Right.
Constantly. Saying and doing. Man, Prince used to have this song called, and the name was a strange relationship. And I think the hook went, I hate to see you happy, but I also hate to see you sad.
Right.
And I understood what he was saying. And I understood what he was saying in that in the hook of that song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in a relationship, sometimes, you know, you don't want to hurt them, but at the same time, sometimes you feel like I'm gonna take some shots here. They feeling a little happy over there. I'm gonna take a few of these shots right now, and then you know they're gonna take theirs in your moments too.
Man, you know that's rough, man. It's rough. You know, there was a movie back in the day.
I don't want to do right.
There was a movie back in the day called what was it, Mr. and Mrs. Do y'all remember seeing that movie?
Yeah. With what's his name? Brad Pitt now?
Brad Pitt and
what's his name? Yeah.
And so they're in love, but they trying to kill each other the whole time. It's crazy that a lot of relationships do operate that way for real. Like it's like people say it's a lot of people just token it as saying it's toxic. You know what I'm saying? Just toxic relationships. But truth of the matter is, man, a lot of people thrive off of that, bro. Like for real. Like there are some people who cannot operate in
be normal
these situations. You know what I'm saying? They can only operate in chaos. Like it's some people who can only operate in chaos. And so with that being said, man, I look at that and I'm like, man, you know, it's you really have to know, you know what I'm saying, who you with. Sometimes, and even people that are like, they do have a good head on their shoulders, emotions still make some people do some silly stuff or say some silly stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's really offensive in some way, shape, or form. Right quick, guys, before we go any further, I gotta jump out right quick and put this up while I got a moment. We want to say congratulations and thank you to everybody that came out to support the Chic Mod. One moment. Big B. Everything he do is big. He keeps blowing my mind. I'm so blown away by everything you do. Telling all my haters they don't know about you. When I call on you, you gon' come through. My God, he the plug. Watch him come through. No more pity parties. There'll be no more stressing. Devil might try, but you can't stop my blessing. Open up doors, I don't know how. Yeah. You the truth now. Is he good to you? What he done for you? Sit back. Yo, okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to give a big shout out. Thanks everybody that's been supporting so much. And in Mineola, guys. So if you guys are in the area, stop by. Let's see your face up in the place, the Wi-Fi lounge and the Chic Mod shopping spot. I see somebody that jumped on with some spam here. It went all the I see spammer. It's we start once you start getting a certain amount of following, you start getting spam inside of your comment section where people are trying to get you to come to certain websites and all kind of crazy stuff. So hey, it's crazy, ain't it? Love in your city. So yeah. So man, I tell you, man, it is I see you, Shaft. You say you coming for the Versace shoes. I got you, brother. Man, yeah, man. We man, I just think about, man, when we come to talk about relationships, man, it's really, really crazy, bro. Like how sometimes it's like you really be like, I don't care what nobody say. A person might say, okay, in the heat of the moment, you said XYZ, right? But real talk, if someone does or says something to you that is completely outrageous, like, you know what I'm saying, that blows your mind, like, I can't believe you said that, in the heat of the moment, bro, I don't care. I believe 100% that lingers in the back of the person's mind, that who these words were meant for. And I think it puts an element, and here's a question: does it add an element of distrust? Like in a relationship, once that person has said something that was totally off the radar to you, is that something that sparks the seed of distrust somewhere lingering
Automatically.
Mind later?
Automatically.
Think like this about me? Does this person really feel like this about me? And is this person, is that how you think? Is that what you feel? You know what I'm saying? Like, what drop it on me. Come on, fellas, help me out.
Yeah, automatically. And then later on, I'm gonna go back to the crippled man that I try to help. That made me mad. Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah. But automatically, man, lingers in your mind. And then you gotta realize that you and that person are gonna get mad again. And then what if they bring it up 3-4 times again in the next 3, 4, 5 arguments? So then, is that really true? Is that how you really feel about me?
Right.
So you got to think about all those factors, man.
I haven't said that a drunk man speaks a sober mind.
Sure enough. Yep.
That's deep. Yeah. What about you, Shad? What you feel, bro?
What do you do, Rashad, when that happens?
Wow, I believe that things spoken in the heat of the moment got to be justified as just in the heat of the moment, man. We all gonna say things that we really don't mean. I mean, and we all get angry. But even though some of the things that may be said may be true, but because it's true, don't mean I should use it and hold it against you to try to hurt you. You know what I'm saying?
What is it possible for that to linger in the back? Like, even if you don't hold it against them, when it lingers in the mind, like, man, wait a minute, man, this.
Of course. I mean, that's why we got to be real careful about the words that we choose. That was one thing that God had to show me, especially when dealing with women, that our words are so much powerful. The words that we say to women, and that He had to really deal with me with that. Because I like the words. They're not as powerful that to me. I can shake it off, but when you use some words to with your bro, it lasts a long time. It's been stuck in the back of her head for a long, long time.
It's
And
some
you know,
fellas.
and
Yeah.
you know, and my mentor, it is crazy because my mentor, he worked with me about saying and speaking a lot of colloquialisms. Like, he used to tell me, never tell your woman, let me tell you the truth. Because when you say stuff like that, to her in her mind, you're always lying. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, he worked with me a lot on and just in our vernacular, it's a lot of things that we use in our common language that you need to work on and eliminate some of them phrases that we take it for granted that don't really mean that, but people, especially women, analyze those words that you say. You know, so we really worked on getting rid of a lot of those sayings and being more of a listener and work and balancing it out on what we call IQ and EQ, you know, intelligence and emotions. So we need to operate more on an IQ level than an EQ level in our conversations. Because if you operating on EQ, that heart, he gonna betray you every time. He gonna say things that that's really out of the way. So you have to really put your mind in perspective in your conversations and remove your heart from it. You know, that's some of the tools that I've worked on to have better conversations and become a better listener instead of just reacting. You know, have you ever talked to somebody and you can look at their expressions and their demeanor the whole time you talking, and they just ready to bark when they ready to bark. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you can tell they're not listening to nothing you saying, right? They ready to get off what they want to say.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you gonna say to change their mind.
Mm-mm.
But I said, you know, one of the things I wanted to learn. So okay, let me focus on listening to what they have to say, and then come back with the right responses to take that to de-escalate it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of escalating like I used to do. You know, anything that came up against me, I'm gonna escalate. You know what I'm saying? Beat them getting mad. So you gotta work on it, bro. You gotta work.
So at the end of the day though, like those words plant seeds. And so words are really, that's what they are, really, seeds. And so those words that a person has allowed to come out of their mouth, those words could possibly begin a fire in an area that was never an issue. Like, for instance, if certain things are said, a person can immediately start to think that the other person, like in a bad argument, person makes a statement, almost sounds as if though that statement they made says that they possibly could have someone else if they wanted. You know what I'm saying? So now in the mind of that person, that man who just heard that come out of their wives or whoever, their relationship out of their mouth, now puts this seed in their head like, wait a minute, is it possible that she's seeing somebody? You know what I'm saying? Already, or had been seeing somebody. So these things of distrust can easily come from those moments. So when we talk about defining, like those moments actually defining who people are, even though it may not be who they really are, a lot of times it paints that picture to people, like the person who's on the receiving end of the bad comments. It could kind of paint that picture that this is who they really are. And I think in some cases, people have really found out that this was who they really were. You know what I'm saying? And like I've had people that I've known who had mentioned several times certain statements that have been made. And then all of a sudden they find out later that all of this stuff was happening in the background the whole time. You know what I'm saying? That kind of proved, you know what I'm saying, what they was hearing and what they were feeling. So, in those type of situations, man, it's like really, really, it's sticky. You know what I'm saying? It becomes real sticky when it comes to that. I see you, Shaft. I see you. Shaft's just putting in some statements. But yeah, so I mean, go ahead, bro.
I got something for that because thank God, he brought me a long way, man. Because back in the days, when I heard something like that, I did hear that before several times, and just as quick.
Uh-oh, he froze up on us, Cam. I think they just
You've been censored.
Cam has now Cam
Okay.
just got his
All
phone
right.
while he was in the middle.
Yeah. That's
Hey, look at his face, bro. Look at his face.
that's what I'm looking at, laughing. Yeah,
Stop
they
it,
got
y'all funny, man. Man, y'all funny, boy. Hey, they done froze. She done froze Cam up while he was talking.
yeah, man.
Hey,
You thinking what I'm thinking.
hey,
Okay.
hey,
Okay.
y'all pray for Cam. He may not be back on
Hey.
the remainder of this.
Big shout out to Hector Rosales. You
What's
finally
up?
tuning in and coming.
Hey, man, where you at, Cam? I'm waiting for you to jump back in, bro. Where you at? Yeah, y'all pray for Cam, man. Cam almost said something he wasn't supposed to say, and the plug was pulled on him.
Yeah.
I need to call EMS.
Okay.
There's residents on this place of residents over there. Hey, but yeah, man, it's just interesting, man, because I tell you, man, life can throw you some real curveballs, man. It can really throw you some curveballs sometimes, and you gotta be ready mentally, man. You really do. It's like, and everybody can't be on their A game all the time. Everybody can't be 100 all the time. You know what I'm saying? But you got to notice where you're at in the middle of situations and know how to reel it back if you need to. What we got? She said that deserved a screenshot. They pulled them. All right, awesome.
Man, your words got to be used to build each other up, not tear each other down.
Right.
It's
right.
It's the man. Wow, the hard things and the right things
Right.
are they're never the easy things to do. So
Right.
the easiest thing is to respond back, go, get negative, get ballistic, But the right thing to do is to use your words to build up other people. Your words should be uplifting. If you look back in the history of this world, some of the greatest people that we know them through the power of their words, not their actions. So you look at some of the most wicked people we know. Who did Hitler kill? He didn't kill anybody. He just used his words to invoke other people to do damage. Charles Manson, he used his words to invoke other people to do their damage. Jim Jones. So the power of words is so powerful. But then you look at other people that use their words to uplift people like Martin Luther King. All he had was a microphone. He didn't have no gun, but he got behind the microphone. He was able to change this country. You got great speakers like Malcolm X. You got so many. One of my favorite speakers was Michelle Obama. I mean, just the power of words. So that is one of the most powerful tools. And the Bible says there's life and death in the power of the tongue. So use your words to build up the people that you care about. Don't use your words to tear them down.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Cam,
Spectrum, Spectrum, Spectrum shut me down. I don't know how, but they did.
You had to reboot. You had to reboot, huh?
Oh man.
Hey, go ahead, bro. You was about to say something, man, before you got kicked out, man.
Yeah.
Think about it. Before you say this, think about it.
Oh no, I already thought about it because it's true. No, but see, back in the days, you know, when I was out there, when a female would slip or say something like that, I got into that old immature mode and just try to beat them first to the punch, just to prove to them, and I would show them in their face, you know, that wasn't right. And I was a hothead for a long time, man. You do me something, I had to get back. Not trying to be evil, but it's like I had to get you first. I was real hothead, man. But I'm gonna tell you about the cripple guy. So I'm at the gas station, walking in BP, and this cripple guy in a wheelchair comes up, and I'm opening the door nicely for him. Oh, don't open the door for me. I don't need your help. I slammed the whole door on his wheelchair and him. Sure enough, then I kicked him out right there off of Kirkman. Pushed him right out into the Sure enough,
man,
I just lost it, man.
You lost it. You lost it.
I lost it. I sure did. I lost it.
You know what? I'm telling you, man. You know, it's the crazy thing is like
this was back in the days, though. This was 2007.
You can't really. You can never really say what you will and won't do.
Oh,
I just clicked, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can never really say what you will and won't do in the heat of a moment, man. And
but I don't agree with that, bro. I mean, at this point,
at what point?
At this point of being a man of God, you got to have to set a high expectation for yourself.
Well,
you can't.
No, this was 2007. This back in this.
I'm talking about now, today.
Oh no, I'm a changed man, man.
It can happen. It can happen. We all human, but at the same time, we got to be getting better. You know, like I said, I know I'm better today than I was 3 years ago.
You better, and this is the key. This is the key, and this is where, and that even in that is a more dangerous situation than anything. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because when we believe and we work toward getting better, that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
But you can never find comfort in the progress that you've made, because it's like what Paul says. No matter how far he had come, he had to remember that wretched man is still there. He's still right there. No matter what, no matter how much progress you make, that wretched man is still there. And it's really all about, and see, this is where, when you talk about the devil being like a worthy adversary, he's the best that ever did it. So we have to realize, if there has ever been a great man in history, the devil studied it. He already knows.
Well, I want to ask both y'all a question when you finish.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. But yeah, absolutely. So the devil already done played this game with some of the wisest people who ever walked this earth. And so he knows what button and when to use that button to push. And so when I say, like, we can never really say what we will and won't do, because at the end of the day, we are still in this flesh and we are still human. And so you might not let yourself get carried away. You know what I'm saying? Like in the moment, you might be able to kind of reel yourself back in better than what you used to, but there could be a oops moment at any given time. And I mean this in certain situations. Like there's some situation. I'm not talking about situations where you literally walk into some shit. You know what I'm saying? Some situations you walk into it and purposely, you know, that type of thing. But I'm saying like things when it comes to being upset, angry. That's why the Bible is like, you know, be angry but sin not. And it's like
Right.
you get hot. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not careful, anything can happen. And you know what I'm saying? But the moment of getting hot and upset, heated, man, it really takes a being on your A game all the time to not get caught off guard. Because really, at any given time, if you're caught off guard when you're like Cam kind of said something that was really important earlier, you can be tired, out of it for the day. You could be frustrated with other things that have already been happening, and then this one thing the devil just knew when to slide it in to make you come completely out of character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And then you gotta apologize. You know what I'm saying? You gotta reel it back in. Now you gotta ask for forgiveness if you said something that you shouldn't have said. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever.
like,
You know?
bro, I'm gonna give you a good example. The devil, he's something else. I had a situation. I was dealing with some sickness with one of my children, and it was, I mean, very life-threatening information I had received. And I had a person tell me some of the craziest stuff I want to hear the next day, knowing I'm already dealing with that. So I had to really sit back and analyze it. Okay, what was the purpose of you telling me that? Was it to hurt me? You gonna kick me while I'm down? So what was the purpose of you doing that? It makes
sound like I hated to me.
And they didn't even know. They didn't even know the purpose for it. It's like the enemy just knows how to get things across when he needs it to get across to get you, because he already know where you at. He know where your mind at.
But here you go. This person, the person knew what I was dealing with.
Right.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. That's evenness, man.
They knew.
Yeah. Right. But sometimes, even in that, sometimes you have to be really careful.
Hey, I got something deep for y'all.
I went to Ephesians 6. You know, we're not wrestling with flesh and blood. I know the destiny and purpose God got on my life. So I know He's gonna use every and anybody to try to get at me. So, and especially the ones that's close to you, people that you love and people that you care about, they're the ones He gonna use. He ain't gonna use strangers. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we have to be real. We got to stay prayed up and be real careful. And
got to, man.
And also, just remember that Ephesians 6, but we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, and spiritual wickedness in high places, bro.
Yeah.
And the bigger the calling that God got on your life, boy, the more devils gonna come your way, boy. And
that's like tonight for me. For me tonight, what happened earlier tonight with me, bro, like it made me have a realistic moment that right now I really have to pay even more attention. You know what I'm saying? To every interaction I have with people, because tonight's situation could have really escalated. You know what I'm saying? It became worse. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, now I want you to think about what would have happened if I'd have been out there the old me about 3 years ago. I probably would have hit that lady.
We probably would have both went. Yeah. We would have probably both went.
I'm telling you, I never had no distinction between boy or girl.
Yeah.
If you offended me, you probably gonna get knocked out. I don't care who you were.
So that led me to ask you all a question, right?
Yep.
I had a little title just hit my head, but I don't know if I should say that, because what I'm gonna say, I'll be on the other side right now. So I should say, right? So would God go out, fists come in? Now, remember what I just said. Would God go out, fists come in? So a while back when I was dating, we was actually together some years ago, and this guy comes and made a comment towards the person when I was with him in my face. Now, she wasn't my wife. I wasn't married to her. You know what I mean? But what if it's your wife, right? And someone comes by like me, I ain't the jealous type. I don't care if a guy look, if he comment how nice you look or whatever, and I'm with her, I don't care. But what if this person passes by? 'Cause I've seen dudes do this now, go and touch in front of others. I've seen that.
You say what now?
Touch my butt.
I ain't never had.
Hey, what now? Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up.
I have seen that, man.
Hold up, brethren. Hold up, brethren. Hold up. 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 Wait a minute. Let me
Holy Ghost.
let's rewind that again. Read my hat. Let's rewind that a minute, bro. What did you just say? If he walked around and touched
No, you know, guys, I've seen this happen, and I'm not making it up. Guys, like several guys be standing there, and one would say, "Hey, man, girl, whatever," and actually touch. I have seen that, bro. Okay, and touch
what was the
your
question?
wife that you're going home with.
So what
Would
was-
you knock them out or beat them down?
Yeah, I mean, it would be a problem.
Okay.
It would
Yeah.
be a problem. And my
Oh,
wife
yeah.
already know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, let me give you an example. I give you an example. We went to Fort Pierce. I think you was with us when we went to Fort Pierce. I went down there to minister, and 3 guys walked in. They smelled like weed, and my wife went up.
Oh
with the
yeah. I
card.
remember that. Yeah.
They went up with the card to pay, and the
Yeah.
3 dudes, one of the dudes big, about Rashad height,
Yeah. I remember that.
big dude, and two guys at medium height or whatever. They was there, and
Mhm.
he went up, and one of the guys made a statement about her, and I went up in the crowd where they was at. You know what I'm saying?
Sure did.
And I didn't care nothing about no size, no
Yeah.
nothing. You know what I'm saying? Weed smell.
We
No
were
nothing.
ready. We were ready.
I'm in my church clothes.
Yep.
But I promise, if anybody would have put their hands on my wife, we would have had a problem. And that's just it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even something. I'm not even gonna repent for that.
Oh yeah.
I just want you to understand what I'm saying. I'm not going, and I believe the Lord Himself will
Yep.
completely understand
Oh yeah.
what's happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You can say things, I'll let it roll off. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'll let it roll off. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's like even recently, I think this last past week, my wife told me another pastor he didn't know it was my wife, and he made a statement that was completely out of order. And before he knew it was her. So these pastors, these some trips. But a matter of me, like for me, if you can say what you want to say, and but at the end of the day, if you put your hands on my wife, we ain't gonna just fight.
Nope.
It's just bottom line. We are not gonna just fight. And that's
I wouldn't even say why.
I'm gonna tell you.
I ain't even say why.
Look,
I'm gonna beat you down where you can't get to your gun, you can't get to nothing. And I'm gonna make sure that you're going out on a stretcher if you do make it. I promise you. I promise you.
Look,
with no problem, because I'm crazy like that. I'm putting it out there. I am. So people protect or put whatever they want. I'm being straight up. I love the Lord. I am saved, but I promise you.
And I love my wife.
Okay. And I love my wife.
But I'm gonna say this. But she don't got to be my wife. If I'm in the presence of a woman and a dude just come up and touch her, it's gonna be a problem.
Right.
No woman that's hanging around that's in my group like that.
It's disrespect, man. That's
she don't gotta be my wife. You ain't gonna do that. There, you man, come on, man.
Crazy.
Stand there and let somebody that disrespect somebody.
You know, bringing it into that thought though, man. It is so many. It's so much disrespect. Like, it's so much disrespect that happens. Men, and the sad part is like married men disrespect marriages, and man, it's just so much I've seen. It's been crazy. And it's like, because like, I think what happens, people get it twisted. They'll go on TikTok, Instagram, and all this stuff, and they'll see all these women that are they have nice shapes and stuff, and they have no problem with being half naked, getting naked, or whatever. So they begin to think that because those women don't have respect for themselves, that they can just disrespect women, period. Like, you know what I'm saying? They come off the ground into real life with disrespectful things. And a lot of times they don't realize that there are consequences to that. You know what I'm saying? They don't, because they haven't been checked before. They feel like it's no consequences to that. And so, you know, I think, man, like in this era, I think that's some of the things that the devil works in the most right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, like the pastor I was telling you, the so-called pastor I was telling you about a few moments ago. Now, we just had a whole talk about another pastor that actually tried my wife. I still have not seen him yet. I still have not seen this guy yet.
God don't want you to see him.
I believe it was really the Lord that kept me from seeing him. But then this second pastor who makes a statement, and then even when he realized it was her, he knew she heard him what he said, but he ain't apologized for it, nothing. He actually made a statement like, oh man, that was just 100. Like, you know, that ignorant, trying to be cool type of fake street dude.
Trying to
sound like he
fake gangster.
That the foolishness. And so with that being said, though, after he made this, I haven't seen him either yet, because I do plan on confronting him. I'm gonna talk to him about it. Like, I'm gonna talk to him about it. Now, I'm not. There's nothing in my mind that says I won't, lay hands on him. I know, because it's like, from what I understood, he didn't know it was her at first, but then afterwards, he still didn't correct himself. And so, with that being said, I feel like I should probably have a word with him. So it's just interesting, though, how much disrespect people have. Like,
Rashad know you, boy. You can see that face.
It's just so much disrespect that people have.
Lord.
So, and this kind of like one of those things, like what I was talking about. It's like, if someone disrespects your wife like that, in the heat of that moment, does that define who you really are? Let me be the first to say yes. It does. And I truly believe that in a situation like that, it's going to define who I really am. And that is a person that won't tolerate foolishness when it comes to my family. You know what I'm saying? And my wife. And I think any man would respect somebody who love who they got, what they got. I believe any man with the right mind would do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes words really ain't sufficient for certain situations. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to lay hands and pray, like pray for people by laying hands, praying. Lay hands and pray, like hands. Look at Rashad laughing. But,
listen and smell.
Cameron, you had to bring up something like that at the end of the show tonight.
See, back in the days, now I know we on social media. I'm just joking, but back in the day, we had an old street thing. We used to say missing and smelling, but I ain't gonna talk about that.
Hey,
it's all fun in the show, man. But yeah.
Yeah, man. It's Mason said disrespect is at an all-time high. Like a pastor told me one time, I lay hands on you if you disrespect me and my wife. God didn't help. What did it say? God ain't helped me in that area yet. Well, no, the truth is, bro, So the truth is, man, at the end of the day, I just really believe that this is that one area you don't touch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think people get pastors mixed. I think they get it
Yeah,
misconstrued.
they do.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because you're a pastor that, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna try pastors any type of way. Now, I'm a person that I really don't believe in fighting for every little thing. I really don't. I believe in trying my best to follow peace with all men. That I believe that 100%. And then, but in the area of disrespect, I see Marilyn actually put up the word protector. First of all, you're not gonna disrespect my wife, but even more than that, that's a form of what do they call it? Physical what do they call it? What do they call it when somebody put their hands on somebody? What is it?
Domestic.
It's a form of I guess of physical man, I don't know the word for that. I'm slipping my mind, but it's like a form of attack. You know what I'm saying? It's a form of attack in so many ways because you've invaded that person's space and you've basically violated them. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So in cases like that, I truly believe, man. Yeah, assault. That's the right word.
Assault,
that's
yeah.
right. Physical assault. That's assault. And so I think in situations like that, it need to be dealt with immediately, or how they would say from where I'm from, immediately. Let's see what the next person said. Tiff said you knew what you was doing, Cam. That's what she said. Turn the other cheek, but punch in the eye. That's what Hector said. Oh my God. Oh my God. Marilyn said, pray for Cam. Yeah, man. This is serious though, guys. I'm telling you, man. But again, even that, man, like it's just so many things. The enemy knows what to use because he knows there's some things that just won't get under your skin, won't bother you. And there's certain areas of life he knows that if he touches it, it's gonna really bother you. When I think about Job, he hit Job up for everything that was close to Job, everything that was substance to Job. That's what he touched. And so he tried his best to pull Job out of character towards God. Go ahead, bro.
If it's the cripple guy thing, he swung the door, hit my elbow hard, and I had all right to push him out.
Cam and this crippled man. I don't know what's going
on.
I
was hot that day, boy. I couldn't believe I'm trying to help this man, and he did that.
I have a better story than that.
Oh,
and I was downtown Orlando, and this guy he came up to me, and he was, he was looking really rough, and he asked me, would I give him some money to get some? He was hungry, so I looked around. I seen a restaurant. I said, man, let me run in here real quick. So I went in there and I bought him a cheeseburger. Came outside with the cheeseburger. I handed it to him. He took the cheeseburger and threw it at my feet and said, man, I don't want no DAM cheeseburger. I knocked him out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They be trying, man.
So
yeah,
I get it, Cam.
Deep inside, you want to help, and then somebody. But what triggered me when that shock of getting hit by the door. Yeah, I just went blank. I didn't care then. It was all about fighting.
Man, don't fight the crippled people, man. Come on, man. Don't do that. Don't do that, Bushwick Bill.
This
my arm, man.
He probably was after that.
Bushwick Bill. Hey. So he said, Mason said these words. He said these black shows, the series that people are watching on social media, all that is carrying the very things we are talking about. I think he meant to say those things are tearing the very things that we're talking about apart.
That's a
They
whole nother.
moved,
That's
they
a whole
moved
nother.
it from music to our community through television. Now that is a whole nother time. I
Whole
think
nother
next
show.
week
That's a whole
that's
nother
what we
show.
need to touch. Yeah, we got to touch that next week, guys.
Yeah, that's a whole
Uh,
nother show right there.
you know, and it's so true. We got to touch that next week for real, because really, man, it's boy, whoa, man, that's a heavy topic right there, all by itself. When you really think about it, that's a heavy topic.
No,
Because
go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. No,
No,
go ahead.
I would say, man, if you just look at the deterioration of black music that is displayed on mainstream radio and on these social media platforms, you go back to the 80s, go 70s, 80s. Look how the music and the meaning and the content has just deteriorated. It's just garbage. It's just gutter, you know. And we were talking about the powers that be, because we know we have a lot of conscious rappers and a lot of singers with conscience and love and for the black family and stuff. But these people, they're not allowed to make records no more. You don't see their records. Don't get
And the one thing I'm hearing when you say that, brother, one thing I hear is for the love of money. You know what I'm saying? Love of money, man. Like it's like that is the root of all evil. The reason why we see what we see inside of our television and on the black television and also here on radio is because our community have starved for so long. Now they're giving money out for them to bring this type of garbage content. And so because they don't want to be poor, they don't want to be broke, they want to look successful, they sell out the entire community with garbage. You know what I'm saying? And that I think we definitely got to talk about this next week, man, because it is terrible, 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 man. Jimmy said, Marilyn said this. Jimmy was working maintenance at a hotel in Clearwater years ago, and someone under the influence swung at him 3 times and missed, but he swung again, and Jimmy felt the wind. That's all it took. Jimmy popped him once, and the guy slid all over the floor. Road rash all on his face. I think that was on the topic of the guy Cameron was talking about.
You see, I ain't tell y'all how he called me N word and
Oh,
he was white. I ain't brought all that up. I was white. I ain't said all of that. I just left that alone.
You gotta justify.
That
Man.
would
You
tick you off like that, man. Oh yeah.
You can't get no mosquito, no cripple dude down. Come on, man.
Yeah. That was a long time ago. Long time ago.
Brethren.
But that's one of the things that got up onto me that stuck, man, real bad. That I could think of that really got me. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Brethren, don't do it. Don't do it, Cam. Man, listen,
years ago.
Listen, brothers. Hold on.
God has changed me and put me in a good position now. See that?
Even in that scenario, you can't take it personal, although your intent was positive. God, what it says, I can't see that. What it says. Okay, a lot of people suffer from mental issues. Truly, for real.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Cameron, that man had mental health issues and you pushed him down the wheelchair because he was depressed about his physical state.
Yeah. Like I said, that was years and years ago. I'm a changed man.
Hey, Rashad.
Hey, what about on Facebook where I showed y'all that I helped the blind man across the street?
You said the first time.
He said, "What did he show you where he helped the blind man across the street?"
I sure did. It's on Facebook.
Every time you bring it up, it just makes you look worse.
Hey, back then I did what I did, man.
Oh boy.
Man, y'all funny, man. Y'all real funny. Listen, man, it's been good, man. All my people jumped in tonight. Thank y'all for jumping on tonight with us, man. This is good. Fellas, y'all got something to add before you leave?
Yeah. Definitely understand the power of your words. Use your words to build and edify the people who you love. Have a little patience and a little kindness, and think about sometimes we may not know what other people are going through, what their day been like. Try to use each day to encourage somebody and lift somebody up, man, because the power of your persona and your words just being here, man, you're a blessing to somebody else. God put us here to be a blessing to somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So go out, be fruitful, and make the world a better place for somebody else.
Well, my words are, I love disability people. God has set me in place. So and I just thank God. But I would never do that again in life. But like I said back then.
You've lost all of your endorsements.
Hey, we might be hearing from the people.
He lost all of his endorsements in one night.
I'm a changed man.
I get banned from the league. These statements you don't make.
He just got the Kanye moment.
You finna get banned from the league. This finna cost you. This finna cost you here, bro.
I love Jewish people.
Oh Lord. God,
you getting in deeper trouble. You getting in deeper trouble.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for jumping in, man. Whatever you do, don't let the moment define you. Whatever you do, don't let the moment define you. No matter what mistake you make, no matter what moment you walk out of the character that you're in, I want you to take a moment and return to your former state, and don't allow yourself to live in that moment and continue. Whatever it may be, realize that we have a really wise enemy that is always looking for a way to pull you back to who you were, and let God always remind you, let the Spirit of God talk louder in your life so that you're able to reel yourself back in when you find yourself headed the wrong direction. I believe everybody has an opportunity in the middle of anything that happens to remember who they are. I believe that. If we're going to listen to it, or not, it's totally different story. Just depends on what's really important to you. So at this time, guys, thank you so much for jumping on tonight. Thanks everybody. This was an amazing night. Had a good time. Y'all be safe. God bless you. God keep you. And it's never over to the old latest thing. So at this time, we're gonna turn this thing back. Wait, before we do that, hold up, guys. I forgot. November 25th. November 25th. Make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you guys check out this movie right here, Rift, November 25th. On and popping. Y'all, God bless you. God keep you. I hope everybody have a great night.
They say he can't, but